Tuistín agus Stáiltíí Chláiste agus Gael Chláiste Chuileann. You are all very welcome to our information webinar on the fifth year options. My own name is Cáil Bernach and I am the Deputy Principal who looks after the student experience at Senior Cycle. Our facilitators are Anya Higgins, and Anya will guide you through the things you need to take into account before choosing your option subjects. She will also talk to you about the resources available to help inform your decision. Then Cathy Gilgallen will take a more in-depth look at each of the subjects available. And finally, Lucy McCullen will explore the various routes you can take after the Leaving Cert. We will finish with a run-through how you select your option subjects.
Hi everybody, thank you Cáil for the introduction. I will take you through practical tips to help you make your decision on subject options. Firstly, each of us have our own guidance classes, and these are our emails should you wish to contact us. In fifth year, students study 3 core subjects, Irish, English and Maths. There is no decision needed with these. You also choose 4 option subjects. So students typically sit 7 subjects for the Leaving Cert, but only the best 6 grades are used to calculate your points. Your 7th subject is an important safety net. Sometimes students take an extra subject outside school. We would advise you to be cautious about this. To fully engage and study for 7 subjects in school is generally enough work. It is also important to remember to keep a balance for yourself over the next 2 years so you have time for your friends and your hobbies outside school. There are some key questions for good subject choice. Do you enjoy the subject? You need to ask yourself which subjects you liked in the Junior Cert so you will be motivated to study. Reflect on what you were good at for the Junior Cert. What subjects came easiest to you? Did you do better at subjects that were verbal, numerical, spatial, practical or creative? You will get good grades and points in subjects that reflect your natural abilities. These are some ideas that can lead to poor subject choice. For example, you have to be really smart to do that subject. It is important to keep an open mind and choose subjects that you know you are strong at. Often students take up a new subject like engineering or music or business, and it can work out really well. For another example, I'll do that subject because everyone says it's really easy and I can get really high points. There is no such thing really as an easier or harder subject for the Leaving Cert. Students with strong numerical abilities might favour accounting over German or French and find it easier, but a student who has a flair for languages will find German or French easier. Every subject will need time, dedication and consistency over the next 2 years. So for another example, I didn't like that subject for the Junior Cert, but it will be fine for the Leaving Cert. Realistically, if you didn't like a subject in the Junior Cert, that probably won't change in Senior Cycle. For example, if you did not really like science, you might decide to choose another subject instead. Or you may not have enjoyed German or French. Then it is important to talk to your guidance counsellor and see if you need a language or a science for possible courses that you are considering after school. There are a lot of people here to support you with your decision. Your parents, guardians know you best, and you should discuss it with them. All of your teachers are aware that you are choosing your subjects for 5th year, so ask them if they could talk about their subject for Senior Cycle. It is a good idea to talk with your Junior Cert teachers who would know your strengths and can give you advice. And talk to us, your guidance counsellor, if you need further help. Just make an appointment with us, and it is probably easiest to do this by email. 5th year and 6th year students know how important this decision is and will talk you through their Leaving Cert subjects. There are excellent resources available. Websites like examinations.ie will give you an overview of the Leaving Cert exam papers you are working towards. Careersportal.ie has an excellent section on subject choice. Click on School, Transition Year and Guide to Leaving Cert Subjects. It will bring you to this web page where you will get excellent detailed information on each subject. There are also video interviews with people talking about the subjects that they chose for their Leaving Cert and how helpful those subjects are in their careers today. All third-level courses have subject entry requirements. You can find these entry requirements on the CAO website under the Courses tab or on the Careers Portal website using the Course Finder tool. It is the responsibility of each student to check out courses they are interested in and what the general college requirements are, as well as the specific subjects required for the course. The Qualifax website also shows the specific entry requirements for courses. If you are considering these courses, be sure to select your subject options to incorporate the choices. Some specific subject requirements are listed here. For example, you need to have one science for nursing, speech and language therapy, and occupational therapy. If you wish to study veterinary medicine, dentistry, pharmacy, or dietetics, higher level chemistry is essential. If you are unsure about your plans after school, choose a balance of subjects to keep your options open for most courses. A lot of students will change their career plans many times over the next 2 years. You could choose a language, a science subject, a business, practical or humanities subject, plus one more subject. That is the end of my slides, and thank you for listening. I encourage you to do as much research as possible over the next few weeks and look forward to talking with some of you individually if you need further advice. I'll hand you over to Kathy now.
Hi everyone. As you can see from the display, we offer students a choice of 17 subject options at Leaving Cert level. It is worth bearing in mind that not all subjects are assessed through a written exam in the Leaving Cert. Some have projects and practical work associated with them, which spreads out the pressure the students may feel. I'll briefly discuss each subject with you now. First, we have home economics. It is not necessary to have studied it for Junior Cert in order to take it up for Leaving Cert. It's a very practical subject and it's applicable to everyday life. It covers things like nutrition, consumer studies, food studies, and sociology. Assessment takes the form of a 20% journal, which is submitted at the end of 5th year, and an 80% final written paper in June. Next, we have the practical group of construction studies, engineering, and DCG. The student must have studied at least one from this grouping at Junior Cert in order to take any practical subject for Leaving Cert, and they must talk to the teachers involved if taking up a new practical subject. First, we have construction studies, which would have been woodwork at Junior Cert. This course introduces students to the knowledge and skills involved in construction technology and construction materials and processes. There's a 25% project and portfolio, a 25% woodwork exam, so then the final paper is worth 50% in the June of Leaving Cert. Next, we have engineering, which would have been called metalwork for Junior Cert. It specifically deals with mechanical engineering and deals with the planning and development and realization of technological projects. There's a 25% project, 25% practical, and a 50% written theory exam in the same way as we had for construction studies. Finally, in this group, we have design communications graphics, which is DCG, and that would have been called technical graphics at junior cycle. DCG relies upon a student's ability to problem solve, visualize 2D and 3D images, and engage in freehand sketching using traditional drafting equipment and computer-aided design. There's a 40% project with this subject and a 60% written exam. Next, we have the creative grouping, both art and music. Both students can be taken up without prior study at Junior Cert level. Art. This syllabus allows for self-expression as well as an appreciation of the artistic work of others. Assessment involves a 10-week project undertaken immediately after Christmas in 6th year. This 50% will be completed within class time in front of the teacher. There are 2 additional exams in May and in June. There's life drawing, which is worth 12.5%, and art history, which is worth 37.5%. Please note that art history requires essay writing skills. Next, we have music. This course is in 3 parts. There's performing, composing, and listening. The performance element can involve a candidate playing a musical instrument or using their voice as the instrument, either as a soloist or in a group, or they can also perform using music technology. 50% of this subject is sat prior to the written paper in the Leaving Cert exam through both performance, which happens at Easter time in Leaving Cert, and a listening exam before your Leaving Cert exams. Next, we have the business group, where Junior Certificate Business Studies encompasses accounting and business. At Leaving Cert, each topic becomes a subject in its own right. Students are not required to have studied business studies at Junior Cert to take either accounting or business for senior cycle. Accounting. Students who select accounting need to be numerical. They would need to be consistently getting above a H3 in maths to be suited to accounting. The Leaving Cert accounting course covers both managerial and financial accounting. 100% of the exam is sat in June of Leaving Cert. Business. This course looks at how a simple idea can evolve into a profitable enterprise. It looks at the laws which govern businesses and threats from competitors. Local and international businesses are studied, and there's a real ability to apply the subject to real life and multiple careers. 100% of this exam is sat in the June of Leaving Cert. Next, we have our languages. We have French and German. Students are strongly advised to keep their third language where possible. Some universities, UCC being one, require you to have studied a third language in order to apply. If, however, you have an exemption from a language in school, you can apply for an exemption at third level also via the National University of Ireland. Your guidance counsellor can help you with this if you require. Both French and German can be taken at higher or ordinary level and have an oral, and written paper, so that the exam is broken up into 3 parts. The weighting of each element of the paper each element of the paper varies depending on the level you are taking, but the written paper sat in June is 55% of the student's overall grade in each case. Next, we have the science group. All 3 subjects are assessed 100% at the final exam in June. Biology studies the living world, from human biology to animal and plant biology to the functioning of individual cells. It is a comprehensive course with a vast vocabulary. Chemistry. There's a strong practical element in this course with 28 mandatory experiments. It suits students who are logical thinkers. Students must be able to draw graphs and interpret the data within them. Lastly, we have physics. It involves theory, problem solving and practical work, and students must perform either 24 higher level experiments or 22 ordinary level experiments. While higher level maths is not essential for physics, an appreciation of maths is helpful. Next, we have history and geography. History involves a lot of research and reading, so an independent learner is well suited to the course. Answers must be presented in an essay form, therefore a good command of English and an ability to express one's thoughts clearly is essential. There's a 20% research report which is submitted around Easter time in 6th year. Geography. It's the study of people, their environment, and how the two interact with each other. There's a lot of choice in the course, so it allows students to follow the areas which are of particular interest to them. There's a geographical investigation report which is worth 20%, and then there's the final written exam for your Leaving Cert also. On to our last 2, we have Leaving Cert Physical Education. There is a practical and a theoretical element to the course. The theoretical element explores the promotion of physical activity, ethics and fair play, physical activity and inclusion, technology, media and sport, gender and physical activity, and business and enterprise in physical activity and sport. The physical activity project is worth 20%. Then you have a performance assessment, which is worth 30%. And finally, you have the written paper for your Leaving Cert, and that's worth 50%. The last subject I'll talk to you about is computer science. This course teaches computational thinking, which allows students to create meaningful digital products. It explores programming languages like Python and JavaScript, and it looks at how computers and society impact and interact with each other. The exam takes the form of a 30% final year project and a 70% end of course examination. Over Trí Gaeilge. 11 of the 17 option subjects are currently offered as Gaeilge. Students must indicate this as a preference when selecting their subjects on BSware. Bonus marks for Irish. Students who complete their written exams as Gaeilge will be rewarded with bonus marks when calculating their points. It can range from an extra 5 to 10% depending on the subject taken. We advise students to get further information on this at www.examinations.ie. Bonus points for higher level maths. Bonus points are awarded for students who achieve a H6 or higher in their higher level maths exam. So if, for example, you got 42% in higher level maths, ordinarily for any other subject you would get 46 points. However, when you add in the extra bonus points for completing it at higher level and achieving over H6, you'll actually get 71 points in that subject then. Now, so that's all from me. Thanks for your attention. I'll pass you on to Lucy, who will talk to you about routes after school.
Thanks, Kathy. Hi, everyone. While this is all about choosing your subject options, it's also a good time to begin to think about the future and where you might go after school. So I just want to introduce you to the different options open to you, which might help when you are choosing your subjects. The majority of our Leaving Certs go on to higher education. That is, to universities like UCC, MTU, UL, Mary I, and so on, where they study honours degrees at level 8 or ordinary degrees at level 7. Each of these courses have minimum entry requirements and many have specific subject requirements which were mentioned earlier. The rest of our Leaving Certs go on to study level 5 certificates at the Cork Colleges of Further Education. These are the College of Commerce, Morrison's Island Campus, St John's Central College, Douglas Street Campus, and Coláiste Stefan Nefa, Tramore Road Campus. Each applicant is interviewed, so it is not based on Leaving Cert points. Maths and English are usually required, and many courses in these colleges don't require other specific subjects. Colleges of Further Education have excellent progression opportunities to colleges here and in the UK. A number of our Leaving Certs also take up apprenticeships, both trade and occupational, which I would like to talk to you a little bit now, as college isn't for everyone, and an apprenticeship may be where some students find that their talents lie. The first type of apprenticeship is traditionally known as trade apprenticeships. For example, plumbing, electrical, mechanic, carpentry, and so on. For these, you must be at least 16, have achieved a minimum of 5 passes in your junior cert, and hold a number of other requirements. You must have Irish or English, maths, science, or a practical subject, plus 2 other subjects. While these are minimum requirements, many employers prefer students to have done the Leaving Cert. You may also be required to have a Safe Pass or a manual handling course and have completed a colour vision test, an aptitude test, or a medical exam and an interview. These trade apprenticeships suit those that learn by doing or who like to be active, and they also offer an alternative route to learning. Students are employed from day one of the apprenticeship, therefore earning as they are learning. The second type of apprenticeships are the new occupational apprenticeships, which are closely linked to the colleges. They are very structured and offer a lot of support with regular access to a mentor. There are a wide variety of career choices available from the biopharmaceutical industry to hospitality. Some examples of these occupational apprenticeships are the 2-year Accounting Technician Apprenticeship in the College of Commerce, Morrison's Island Campus. An applicant would need to have English and Maths or accounting and a minimum of 2 higher level subjects. The apprentice would attend college 1 day a week and work 4 days a week with an employer. The 2-year Auctioneering and Property Services Apprenticeship, also in the Morrison's Island campus, would require 5 passes in the Leaving Cert or Leaving Cert Applied. The Chef de Partie Apprenticeship in MTU would also require 5 passes in the Leaving Cert or the Leaving Cert Applied. The Manufacturing Engineering Apprenticeship in MTU at Level 6 and Level 7, an applicant would need 5 passes in the Leaving Cert, including Maths and English or Irish. The Cyber Security Apprenticeship offered by the Cork ETB requires 5 passes in the Leaving Cert. The advantages of these new occupational apprenticeships are that they offer that you can earn as you learn while still gaining a professional qualification up to the level 6, 7 and 8. They offer a balance between work and education by combining on-the-job training with academic study. They help the student gain confidence and competence doing the job and self-sufficiency from a younger age, and they are also skills-based qualifications with international recognition. So if you learn better by doing, and you are interested in maybe doing a trade or occupational apprenticeship after school, you can check out the two websites here, apprenticeship.ie and apprenticeshipjobs.ie, for more information. I will now pass you on to Coipernach, who will take you through the process of choosing your subjects through VSware. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Lucy. We will now go through how you select your subject options after Christmas, and option preferences are open to you on VSware from Thursday the 5th of January to Friday the 3rd of February 2023. And so you log onto your VS account as normal, and on the menu to the left of your son's or daughter's timetable, you simply click on Student Options. And when you do that, all the option subjects will pop up. So you then select 6 subjects. Now, it's very important that you remember that the order of preference does matter. And so you need to put your most favourite subject first and your least 6th. Each student gets 4 subjects, and our aim is to ensure that you get your top 4 preferences. And the vast majority of students will get their top 4. Ó hibh daltaí an ghaolchláiste an son, má tá ábhair ar fáil trí ghaeilge, ní mór é ar ránú trí ghaeilge. Once you have completed your 6 subject selection, the words Option Entry Completed will appear, and you simply sign out of VS and you're finished. There's technical assistance available on the 2 numbers on screen. As we discussed, it is very important to take your time and discuss your choices. You can assume that you got your top 4 options unless you are contacted directly by us. If you change your mind at any time during the time Thursday the 5th of January to Friday the 3rd of February, you just go back into VSware and redo your options. Once the window is closed then on Friday the 3rd of February, we go about creating the option blocks. And because we're such a large school, we do find that facilitating student choice is easier, and people are generally very happy with the options that they get. But just please note that we cannot guarantee that we will be able to facilitate changes in option once our option blocks are finalised. If you decide at that point to change your mind in relation to a subject, you will need to complete a subject change of mind form, and these are available at the main office and online. It's important to know that we do not consider any requests to change subject options by phone. And finally, I would like to thank you, the parents, and the students for logging on and for your kind attention. Buíochas Orla to our guidance team and facilitators, Anya, Lucy and Kathy for all your work and for the great care of our students. Gurb míle maith agaibh.